Intel looks to open around 48.5, threatening to get close, Jim, to its summertime low set back in late July, as B of A, as we said earlier, goes to an underperform with a target of 45. Data center again?
Yeah, now I know you have Bob Swan on later, which will be very good because, frankly, I think he got a pass on the conference call, in part because he's regarded as being a total gentleman, which he is. But the miss in the data center, when you read all the analyst comments, they're being very kind. The real issue here was competition. It was AMD with a better mousetrap. It's NVIDIA coming into the data center. And as much as Bob Swan would like to say, you know what, it's the margin compression is something you need to worry about, I think they have to worry greatly because I think they've underspent on product and overspent on buying back stock. Their capital allocation is not that good. This was a very bad quarter. And there were reasons to expect that it would be a great one. David, sometimes you get a quarter and the analysts aren't expecting much, and they just don't get even what they're expecting.
Yeah, I think, Jim, there had been some expectation because, remember, it was last quarter when they came up with these with this manufacturing issue on the, what was it, the 7-nanometer, next-gen 7-nanometer
they couldn't do
chip.
the 7, and AMD has the 7.
They didn't give anybody anything on whether they're fixing that, did they?
No, and the analysts did not rebel. They started. Initially, it started saying, listen, you haven't explained the gross margins. But again, Mr. Swan, because he is an eloquent, good man, and you'll find this, Carl, when you interview him, he was not held to a standard that I would have expected. Very little mention of his Mobileye initiative, automobile. He does not have inference chips. You know, an inference chip is really rather amazing. That's one of the reasons I like Jensen and what he's done. The remarkable job he's done in NVIDIA is when you get into a Mercedes. And David, you listen to this because you're not going to do this. But if you go to Mercedes and you say, oh, man, is it hot in here? The air conditioning goes on. That's inference.
Wow.
Intel does not have inferential chips.
No, but there's a lack of clarity. I'm reading a B of A note here. They did downgrade the stock this morning.
They were the principal downgrader.
Yeah, but they say there's no clarity on when a decision is going to be made in terms of their exploring options to use, other companies to make these 7-nanometer chips.
They need Taiwan Semi very badly.
Right, or go completely fabless, or for how long. It's also not clear if any foundry has either the spare capacity to make Intel's multiple transistors or the desire to help a competitor only for a small time frame. So there's no shortage of issues here, is there?
No, and remember, Intel was the primary creator of the great foundries,
right? The
fabs. I mean, when I was an Intelaholic, I went to a fabulous fab in Israel that had no people because it was the Sabbath. And then I went to a beautiful one in Ireland. And it was then a carbon copy of others. Carl, I always regarded Intel at one point as the greatest manufacturer we had in this country. Now people are saying they should outsource it.
I wonder, Jim, at what point did you stop being an Intelaholic? It's been a while,
When they stopped having engineers and scientists run the company and went with salespeople and financial people.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.